everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today we are going to do a top 3 in every category video. I did see Andy Gardner do this. I've seen a bunch of people do this, and I'm sure I've done this back in the day as well. But she recently posted this the other day, and I thought it would be fun. I did my least favorite products in every category video last week, so I thought maybe let's do my top 3 in every category and see how it looks. I'm gonna do everything other than eyeshadow palettes. I'm sorry, but I will do an eyeshadow palette ranking at some point, and then you'll see my top 3. I just couldn't bear myself to figure it out for this video. I think I need to do some soul searching before I really realize what my top 3 are. So anyway, let's get into it. I have them all in front of me and I just want to dive straight in. There's no order to this. I'm just going to go through my top 3. So we'll start with concealers. I do have all 3. There is just one category where all 3 of the products I don't have in my collection. Which actually, let's start with that one because I have nothing to show you. It's mascara. So all 3 of these I can't show you, but my favorite all-time mascara is the YSL mascara. I don't have it. I mean, I have bought it several times. It is ridiculously expensive. That's why I do not have it in my collection right now, but it's my favorite. It's my favorite. I'll pop up on the screen when I'm talking about. That's my favorite. I also love the MAC Mactastic mascara. I really enjoyed that one, and I don't have that one in my collection anymore. And then the third one is the Makeup Revolution tubing mascara. Tried that last year, loved it, have not bought it again, but I desperately want to, and that one is affordable, so I definitely will have that one in my collection again at some point. But all 3 of those are my absolute favorite and would highly recommend. Okay, back to concealer wise. So I've got the Nabla concealer close up. Now I'm doing this all by memory. It's not like I've used these in the last day, so maybe they're not my favorite anymore, but I do really love the Nabla formula. I also really like my Revlon Candid. Now, if I wasn't going to pick this one, I would absolutely pick the Catrice True Blend concealer. I don't have that in my collection. I did finish that one. I had the shade Cool Cashmere, and I always wanted a shade slightly lighter, and it's very difficult for me to find that because it's sold out almost everywhere because it's just such a good one. But honestly, the Catrice True Blend concealer is by far my favorite. I don't have it, so I'm just talking about these. But anyway, Candid from Revlon. It's in my project pan. I just really love it. I mean, that one I use every single day. It just is never ending, and I actually really enjoy it. I also really like my Technique. This is the Vitamin C Under Eye Brightener. So those are my top 3 from my collection at least. And then obviously, if you can get the True Blend in your color, definitely get that one. Okay, let's move on to powders. I've mixed pressed and loose powder together because I'm just don't care. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Miss Den. This is the illuminating corrector powder, and I think it's a French brand, but I get it from the supermarket, so it's super affordable, super cheap. I love this because it is amazing for my under eyes. It is such a thin formula, but it just adds enough that it doesn't ruin. Actually, I have not put it on today, but it doesn't ruin my under eyes like some other concealers. So I actually really love this one. So this is probably the cheapest one in my collection, and I love it. This by far is the most expensive, and I love it, and I hate to say that, but this is the Givenchy, and this is the 4-color loose powder. This is the shade number 3, which is the rosé one, so it's a little bit more pink, but I honestly just love this so much. Definitely, I would say my favorite loose powder of all time that I've ever tried. And then I really love the Made by Mitchell Eyelights. This is the Starlight collection, so I think this is the lighter version, but you can get different ones. And you can see I really love this one so much. And yeah, this one for my under eye is amazing. I mean, it honestly reminds me of the Miss Den. It is that thin, and I love that for me because if you're young, you don't really notice, but as you get older, your under eyes need some extra loving and less product. So the thinner the better, at least for me. And then the rest of these work really nicely for my face. And it's translucent enough that it doesn't like add color as well. So I don't really like colored powder on my face. I feel like it gets too cakey at that point. So love those. Those are definitely my favorite in my collection. Moving on, we have cream blush. So I've done also liquid blush and powder blush because I'm extra. So I don't have too many cream blushes, but these are definitely my favorite. I would say I love this one. This is kind of a newer one. I got this last year. This is from Catrice. It's the Blushing Charm Multi-Stick, and I have the shade... I never figure out what shade I have actually. What shade do I have? Number 1? Oh no, Sparkle Lover, number 40, Sparkle Lover. It is so stinky pretty. It's so pretty. And obviously you blend it out. It doesn't look like that on the face, but you blend it out and it has this gorgeous shine. Oh, it's just pretty. I just love it. This peachy pink. I love it. I love it. I really recommend this. I haven't tried. I think there's one other. I think there's like a highlighter version of this. So it's kind of like a blush lighter, but I love it for a blush. And then this is kind of the same type of product. This is from Kiss and Smink. I don't know if they still exist, but this is the shade Tulum, and it's honestly like the same product, but I love it just the same. This one I think is actually a little bit more shiny, but it's kind of the same color. You could see, I just love that. I just love it. It's a little bit stiffer. I've had this for a very long time though, but it's still going strong and there's nothing wrong with it, and I'm not going to get rid of something that's good. Even if it's a cream item, it hasn't gone off, so I don't care what kind of chemicals they put in here to keep it lasting forever. I'm happy about that. And then I'm also going to choose one of my MAC. This is the Glow Play blush. I have 2 of these. I've always preferred this one though. This is the So Natural shade, and I just find it very easy to wear. I have to be honest, I have not worn this in a hot minute. So this is from Memory. Again, this feels amazing. And again, these tend to last as well. I have a very peachy shade, but I just really like how natural this one is. It's called So Natural, and it just adds a little bit of touch of color. And you know what? I think I wear more pigmented blush at the moment, but when I don't want to have something super pigmented, like especially for the winter time, I think this is really good because it is such a paler color, but a very natural, pretty shade on, and it just looks really nice. I've had issues with blending out cream blushes before, and I've never had issues with any of 3 of these. So those are my top 3 cream blushes in my collection, and honestly that I've tried, that I can think of. Okay, moving on, we're gonna move on to highlighters. This one could have ended up in a blush category, but it's kind of like a blush lighter, so I'm gonna put it in my highlighter. Even though I kind of use it as a blush as well, but I had to include it somewhere. This is my Dior, and this is the Dior Forever Glow Luminizer in the shade Pink Strobe. I swatched this in store, I think it was last year, and I couldn't deny myself. I had to get this. It is absolutely gorgeous. It is quite subtle, but it just is so pretty on the skin. I can't explain it unless you like try this in real life. I can't explain how pretty this is. I don't even know if it swatches very well. It's got this peachy pink, and it's sheer, but it just makes your skin look so pretty. It's like adding a little filter to your skin. And again, this type of formula, this type of consistency, it's not super thick, it's not blinding. I love it for my type of skin. So anyway, I picked that one. Now this one is kind of blinding. This is the other highlighter that I've picked. This is the Unexpected Paradise Light of Venus from Kiko Milano. I have always loved this. Unfortunately, it's always been broken for me, so I never knew what it looked like. I don't think you can get this anymore, but this one is definitely a blinding one. Now, I don't really wear this that much because I love it so much, which is just kind of stupid, but this one is more of your typical highlighter. It's more of your typical highlighter, but I think the particles are small enough that you can really sheer it out. Like you can see there's just a gorgeous sheen there, and some highlighters you have that horrible white cast and you can see it, and I still wear them. Like I wear those type of highlighters all the time where you just see the line of highlighter and it doesn't really blend into the skin, but this is the type that blends into the skin, so I love it. Maybe you can get it from Kiko Milano. Maybe they have it in like a different type of shade. I don't know. They don't really last. Their products don't last in terms of like their overall like staple products. They don't seem to ever stay which is annoying. That's like the thing I don't like about Kiko Milano. You can never like repurchase anything. And then the third one would be one of the Serengeti highlighters from What's Up Beauty. This is the Safari Sunset. I've always really enjoyed this one. There is an icy one called, I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, this is the one that I prefer because I think this one's a little bit more natural. And again, you know me, you're kind of getting the point. I like these more natural finishes. And again, you can really sheer this out and it just adds a beautiful natural sheen to the skin, which I think is very flattering. So anyway, those are my top 3 highlighters. I think I picked some good ones. You let me know. In terms of face palettes, I've kind of cheated because most of these are highlighters, but I can't get away with loving what I love. So the first one is another Dior. I'm sorry, I really love this one. I didn't want to label this stuff. This is the Dior Backstage Glow Maximizing Palette in Universal Glow. I really like this because of how subtle it is. Again, I'm sorry, I hate that this is so expensive. I hate that. I love it, but I love it. So, oh, also, if I didn't like it, I would also be annoyed. This was a gift, but I do really like these shades. I mean, you can see I rubbed off the embossing of the top 2 at least, and they're shiny, but again, you can like sheer these out to the point that they add this beautiful natural, I'm showing you my palm, it's not going to help, but they add this beautiful natural glow to the skin that unfortunately money can buy, you know. I know that you can always get pretty highlighters from Essence, Catrice, and everything, but they don't always look as effortless as some other ones. So for me, it's always hit and miss, but yeah, it makes me sick to my stomach because some of these are so expensive. Moving on, we do have indie brand. We have the Frosting palette from Cosmic Beauty. I really like this. Now, this is a trio of highlighters. So is it really a face palette? It's a highlighter palette, but I kind of include it with my face palettes. I've hit a pan in each of them, so I got to know this really well. This is really pretty on the skin because I think you can actually use these on the skin as opposed to some other face highlighters that I have that I can only put on the eyes, but also these work really nicely in the inner corner. So they're definitely, you know, for that, but I can absolutely put this on the face and I can work it into the skin, and they do end up obviously giving the color that they give, but I feel like they sheer out in a beautiful way. Again, this is not natural on your cheeks, that kind of color, but it depends on what you want to do with yourself, right? So I'm not telling you how to wear your makeup. I just think it overall, the actual consistency of the highlighter is very pretty. So yeah, I wanted to include this one in my ranking. And then another top 3, it's kind of a wild card because I wasn't actually sure what to pick for my next one. I feel like I really loved my BH Cosmetics Belgian Waffle, but I don't have that anymore. So, you know, mostly what I have in terms of face palettes, some of them have bronzers, some of them are just blush. And even if they have like a bronzer and blush, doesn't mean I'm going to love it more than anything else. So I picked this one because I really kind of think these shades are really fun. Is it super wearable? Probably not. It's the Mermaid Magic from Gourmande Girl. So this is their, when they came out with the Call of the Sirens palette, they came out with this one as well. Now, this is definitely less wearable than the Frosting from Cosmic Beauty. Like, these ones are highlighters, but I wouldn't necessarily put these on the face. I've tried and I don't think they really work on the face, but they're really pretty for your inner corner and your eyes and everything. This one potentially on the face, but these blush are really fun too. And they're somewhat pigmented. And I just think this is such a fun palette. It's not going to be for everyone. Again, it's not like your everyday go to the office type of palette. It really isn't, because these are kind of more, they just look like eyeshadows at the end of the day. They really do. But I can't deny how pretty this is. I'm sorry, it's too pretty. It's too pretty. Like, why am I swatching everything? I don't know, my hand is shiny. There's no point showing you anymore. Let me show you though the blushes though, because I talked about the blush. This one's really pretty. I would say the purple one is the one you would probably need to build up more, but I just love them and they don't look super crazy on the skin. They really do not. I think you can sheer them out. Definitely this one is less pigmented, so it's, you know, probably a little bit more wearable. These ones, you just need to put less of a concentrated amount on your skin. They're not really blending out on my thing, but I have worn them all on my cheeks and I have really enjoyed them. So there's that. So anyway, I'm going to pick that one because it's fun. I you know, makeup can be fun sometimes, right? So I'm going to go for something fun. All right, moving on, let's go into primers. I have a primer issue, but I realized I don't love all my primers. There was definitely two that were like a no-brainer, and the third one I've added in because I'm doing top 3, but I don't necessarily know if it's top 3, but this one absolutely, definitely number 1. I love this Iconic London Underglow Blurring Primer. I've said it for multiple years now. Love it, love it, love it. It is just, it's very, very blurring, and it does give you a little bit of a filter on your skin. So if you don't have the best skin, this is definitely one I recommend. I also really like this NYX one. This is the Plump Right Back Up, or Right Back. It's got electrolytes, plumping serum, and you know, I have like that much left. I don't have too much left, but I really, really like this one. It definitely feels more like a serum, but I've always really enjoyed it and I don't have anything bad to say about it. And then the other one I'm going to put is the Charlotte Tilbury. I know loads of people don't like Charlotte Tilbury. She's kind of icky and all that stuff, and the brand itself is icky and whatever, but I really do like this product. So, and I have it, so like, why am I gonna not use it and talk about it? But yeah, I was trying to pan this, what was it, a year ago, a year and a half ago. I think I've used about that much, so there's still plenty in here, and I've tried so many dupes of this, but I still think this is definitely number 1. And you know, I include it with my primers. I know a lot of people use that as like a base or a highlighter. I use it more as a primer. So as a primer, for me, it's in my top 3, but that is the one that I kind of added in because I wasn't sure what my third one would be. And then let's go on to blush, powder blush. So this one, I've picked the one of the Makeup Revolution ones. This is the Pink Party Blush. I love this. I love this so much. This is just me finding that I really love shiny blush again. I went through a period of time and I was like, I only like a matte blush. But I think this just depends on what type of blush you have. It's just so pretty and it's quite light, but it has a gorgeous sheen. Again, it's quite natural. And I think for Makeup Revolution, it is such a win. This product is so beautiful. Mine came smashed, but I was able to squish it back in and I love it. And I don't think you can get this everywhere. I don't know why they don't have that everywhere. So that one, definitely one of my top 3. Another one is from Glam Shop. This is the Luxe, Glam Luxe, and it's the Elegantsky Rose, and this is what it looks like. It's kind of like a baked formula. It's a marbled baked formula, and it's really pretty, this one too. This one's quite pigmented. Again, these are all pink. Like, who am I? I used to like just peach blushes, but I do like pink blushes quite a bit, like peachy pink. I realize I don't like full-on orange blush, but I like a very subtle pink peach blushes instead. Or maybe that's just who I am this year, who knows. And then I also really like the Singe one. This is the Riveting Rhubarb. It's not the new one that I got, but this is one that I got a couple years ago now, or just last year. Maybe it was last year. And again, this one is more pink, but her blushes have a little sheen to them. So these, all 3 of these, I've realized are kind of the same color. Not super pigmented, so they're not scary to use too. You can actually work them up, but they do add a really pretty light flush of color. And the Singe Beauty definitely has a little bit of a sheen, so it's not full on matte. So yeah, I love all of those, to be fair. I love all of those. So far, yeah, I'm in agreement with myself about all of this. And then let's move on to foundation. So this is a brand new item for me within the last month, right? So this is the Maybelline Plump and Glow, but I'm going to put this definitely in my top 3. Every time I use this, I feel like my skin looks nice. I just think this is a really good one, and I prefer it to the Lumi one that they came out with, what, a year ago? I think the Lumi one was like luminous and also matte, and I think depending on how my skin was, it showed up a little thick. This one, total like serum foundation, love it, love it, love it. So that one is definitely up my alley. And then I really like my Nars. I'm almost done with this one. I haven't used it in a while because I realized that I was using it a lot and I really liked it. This is the light reflecting foundation, a little more expensive. You gotta shake it to use it, but yeah, I only have like a little bit left, but I definitely really enjoy this one. It took me some time to figure out that I liked it, and then I realized, oh no, hang on, I do like this because I kept using it. I was like, no, I do like that. And then another one that I love is a nice cheapy one, which I'm very pleased with. This is the Essence Skin Tint, and this I think when I did my ranking for my foundation last year, I said this was my #1. Obviously still my top 3. #1, don't know. I mean, I think this one I have to use again. I haven't used it in a while. It's a skin tint and it's really lovely and very cheap, so I love it. So those are definitely my top foundations. I can't really think of anything that I've finished in the past that would be better than them, quite honestly. Moving on, we have powder bronzer. I'm gonna go with this one. This is Kiko Milano. This was in my project pan for the longest. It's the Lost in Amalfi Baked Bronzer in the shade Warm Melange. Again, they don't have this in their range anymore, but it is so good. And you know what, Kiko Milano just does really good basic products. I always want to buy from them, but I just hate their website. I don't know, there's something about how they have everything laid out just puts me off. But whenever I'm in store, I always kind of want to buy something. But yeah, this one I love. I just feel like anytime I go into that bronzer, I just really, really enjoy it. I also really like my Nabla one. This is the Skin Bronzing in the shade Dune. And I like, it's pretty dark, but I like how it's a little bit more cool tone. And I don't know, this is also another baked formula. I really just enjoy this. I feel like all of the bronzers that I've picked, I can grab them any time of the year and I don't have to suffer for it. And that's why I really appreciate all of these. I think this one by far is my favorite still, and it is from Glam Shop. It's the Glam Luxe. And I just think that these Luxe products, amazing. I don't have the Luxe highlighter. I wish I had tried that one too, because that also looks pretty, but I think this is my favorite bronzer in my collection. Again, another baked one, and it's just absolutely beautiful. So yeah, don't sleep on those ones for sure. And then I'm going to do cream bronzers. So I have the ColourPop Soul cream bronzer here. This is currently in my project pan. I have the shade Light. I only have 4, maybe, is it 4 or 5 cream bronzers? I'm not going to rank my liquid bronzers because I don't like them. These are just like the top of the top. So I think, yeah, I only have 4 cream bronzers, and these are my top 3. If I did a top 2, this probably wouldn't make it because I think it's definitely #3, but these two I love. So I have my ABH, which still is going and it's still fine. This is the shade Amber, and this one was in my project pan for the longest. You could see I have my little pan at the bottom there, my plastic pan. It's not a shiny pan, but it's a pan nonetheless. This took a long time. And I'm waiting to get a tan to go back into this. I feel like I'm almost there. We were out in the sun this weekend and summer is pretty much officially here. So I think I'm going to start wearing this one pretty soon. And then my Charlotte Tilbury is a good one to wear all year round. And this one I really still really enjoy. And again, I have a nice big pan in that one too. And it still works fine. So even though these are creams, they seem to be lasting for me. So I don't know. They like the environment that I live in. Who knows? I don't know. It's all a bit random. And then the last category that I'm going to include in this video are liquid blush. And so for these ones, I actually have multiple of this product in different colors. And it's hard for me to pick the shade that I prefer because I'm not quite entirely sure. I think I have picked the shade just based on what I can gather and remember, but I like pretty much all the shades that I have from these collections, if that makes sense. So the first one is my Maybelline Sun Kisser. So I currently have one in my Project 10 Uses that I pulled from my Shop My Stash. This one's called Shades On that I've been using. This one is Soul Search, and I think Soul Search is the one that's a little bit more peachy orange. And I think as a blush, I realized I might prefer this one better. The Shades On is very neutral, very pretty. I think this one maybe is my favorite, but then I also have a third one that I really enjoy too. I just think this formula overall is stunning. And I also have Gloss Gods. This one is the shade Lover. I have another one that's a little bit more peach, but I think I prefer the pink one over that one. I think this is a really nice formula for them, and I think it works really nice, and I can blend this out really well. And then I also have my Essence Baby Got Peach, and I have two other shades, and I wasn't sure which one I prefer. This is the shade 30. I think this is my favorite, but I don't really know. I don't know. So I picked this one, but I don't know. But I really love the formula, so there's that. All right, so that is everything for today. Those are my top 3 from all categories that I can think of and that makes sense to me. As I mentioned, I will do eyeshadow palette ranking at some point. I don't know if it's gonna be this month or next month. I have so many videos planned, but I'm also, you know, not trying to film every single day, so we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Like and subscribe if you'd like to, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye!